Hi everyone, it's Babe, author of Own Your Power, and today we are talking about intuition. I know it sounds a little woo-woo, but let's tune into intuition. So what is intuition? How do we tap into it? How can it help us? So intuition, by everyone's different definition, intuition is like that sign or the guidance or the inner voice that we all have. It's a sort of knowing. And where does it come from? Well, for different people, it comes from different places. Sometimes it comes from experience. Sometimes it comes from insight. Sometimes it comes from, thinking, what would somebody else do? Sometimes it just comes from starting to listen to ourselves. So how do we start to access our intuition and how can it help us? Well, more often than not, when we are absolutely laser focused on a goal, we start thinking, I should be doing this or it should be happening this way, and we keep getting tripped up. And instead, we try to muscle our way through it and really try to get it done rather than stepping back and starting to listen, like, why isn't this coming to fruition? I often think of my intuition as like that little Jiminy Cricket on my shoulder, or like a kind of a deep in your body knowing. So how do we access it? How do we access this place of intuition so that we can have a deeper place of knowing and help us to have high levels of productivity and help us to be the leader that we're meant to be? Well, 3 things that we can do. The first thing is to slow down. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but slowing down doesn't necessarily not being productive. Slowing down more often than not can mean that we need to just quiet down the noise that's in our head so that we can start to listen to what resides within us. So how does that work? When we start to slow down all this chatter, that whisper of intuition, that whisper of that deep knowing starts to turn the volume up. So think about it that way. The second thing that we can do to access our intuition can often be around asking for signs or symbols. I've long been using feathers. I know it's going to sound woo-woo, but when there was a point of time in my life when I was trying to figure out my next steps. And every time I was thinking a thought and I saw a feather, it almost felt like a confirmation that I was headed on the right path or the right direction. And this whole feather thing has stuck with me. Feathers show up in the most random of spots, and there it is, and then it's reminding me that I'm on my right path or I'm on the right step. So it can be a feather, it could be guidance, it could be even like a prayer or something that you ask that you are looking for intuition, you're looking for guidance, you're looking for a sign or symbol. Then the third thing to do is to start to listen to your body. Your body knows. You know when you have that, like your stomach's feeling funky or you have a tightness in your chest, that's intuition. That's listening to your body. Your body's going to point you in the right direction. So without getting too science geeky on you, but our body has something called a fight or flight response. When we are faced with danger, more often than not, our body will rise up as if it's ready to fight or to flee. And therefore, we can really use our body to kind of tap into our seat of intuition. If we're faced with making a big decision about a project or a house purchase or even a relationship, ask your body. Be like, okay, what am I supposed to know here? What am I supposed to be listening to? And if the body gets that like flipping stomach thing where it's like dread or it gets a tightness in its chest, more often than not, that's a no or a hold back or be prepared. So when we start to listen to our body, that will give us more indications, signs, and symbols that will point us on the direction of listening to our intuition. So I know, guys, it's all a little woo-woo, but believe me that when we start to listen to our intuition and we match that with our natural drive as ambitious and driven people, there are immense amount of possibilities, and we really get to tap into those infinite potential that resides within all of us because we stop holding ourselves back and instead to listen with what's going on with them. All right, just a little bit of love for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.